If automakers were grade schoolers, then word on the playground would probably be you ain't cool unless you've got a compact crossover. Come on, everybody's doing it. And Porsche's push into the segment is finally here at the 2013 LA Auto Show. Meet the Macan. At the low end, you get a 3-liter turbocharged V6 engine that offers 340 horsepower, or at the upper end, you get a 3.6-liter engine that makes a full 400. All-wheel drive is standard across the range, regardless of whether you choose the Macan S or the more expensive Macan Turbo. However, there are plenty of differences here. For example, standard equipment on the more expensive Macan Turbo includes constantly adjusting dampers. As with any Porsche product, performance is important, but so is style. And I gotta point out, this steering wheel is inspired by the 918 Spyder. In fact, that's not the only item that's a throwback to Porsche's plug-in hybrid supercar. The clamshell hood and also the taillights are also reminiscent of that. Now, you're not going to be able to afford that if you come in with a normal salary, but you might be able to pick up a Macan. Other things to look at include these gorgeous premium seats, this center console that's loaded with buttons like other Porsche products we've seen recently, and beautiful touches like this headliner with Alcantara and lighting throughout to give a very, very premium feel. Now, even with severed digits, I could probably count on one hand how many people really take the Cayenne off-roading. Despite that, Porsche is still offering an off-road mode with this car accessible by a button within the cabin. It gives you remapped shifts optimized for slower driving. Of course, there's also a sport mode that does the same thing, only in the opposite direction. If you do plan on driving over steep grades or uneven ground, you might want to think about the optional air suspension. It can raise the car up an extra 1.5 inches, roughly speaking, to give it just over 9 inches of ground clearance. Shifts happen with both models through a 7-speed Porsche PDK dual-clutch transmission, and that's enough to push the car from 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds or 4.8 depending on which model you choose. Both of those models can come with Porsche's Sport Chrono package that includes launch control and shaves another 0.2 seconds off of that 0 to 60 sprint time. Now, if there's one thing to remember, it's that the Cayenne sells like hotcakes. So if there's anything we can expect from the Macan, it's that it's going to do something very similar. There are only 2 models being offered to start, but just like the Cayenne, don't be surprised when Porsche diversifies that portfolio like crazy in the future if this thing takes off.